Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm PT, and for today what we have here is MX Nitro, a new indie game from the Saber Interactive, and that was published by Miniquip, those times. So the game is using Unity Engine 5, so it's already bad news, but not entirely. The game is actually not running that bad, to be honest. So let's take a look on the settings. So I'm running the game at 1080p. I'm using a custom preset because I didn't feel that any of the presets was good for this system, and so I decided to create one. Anyway, I'm showing the differences in the quality. I know this is not going to be anything at all because we are just looking to the menu with everything blurred, but it really points a little bit the frame rate. So at low and medium the game runs at 100 frames. At the high settings we already are seeing the game dropping to 50s, and on ultra 40s. So this is the type of game that you really want to have something like 60 FPS to play, and the only setting that really guarantees is the median or the low. So I decided to pick up the median settings and go to the custom and raise the sampling, raise the textures. Okay, textures because we have the feed run for that, sampling because it felt that the game was running at a lower resolution than the native one. Post-processing I decided to use the eye because it gives a much better color tone, and ambient occlusion because, you know, ambient occlusion on Unity is awesome and really makes a difference in everything. So with that, this is the correct settings for me to try to achieve 60 FPS almost all the time. Okay, I'm just going to switch to a more weak bike because I was a little bit more on front of the game, and I decided to let you see a little bit of those tracks, these first 3 tracks and some other tracks, and I will talk a little bit about the game itself. So if you know Trials, you pretty much are going to find a lot of similarities to the Trials, but it's not entirely like that. Okay, the camera is more or less the same. It is a motorcycle game, okay, a motocross. So what's so different about this game and Trials? It's more like you need to make stunts in order to earn Nitro. Well, that's the name of the game, MX Nitro. And so earning Nitro, you have the possibility of using it, obviously, and make a bigger advantage over the opponents. But if you think that the game is on with this from the beginning to the end of the game, it's not entirely. The tracks are well developed, and sometimes going faster is not always the best idea. You need to see more and less the type of jumps that you need to make. Of course, this is the beginning, you are not going to see any complex situation, but that's pretty much, the game will find eventually other ways to try to make your head think how you are going to complete the races. Okay, as you can see, this wasn't really smart, but luckily that guy crashes, and because of that I'm in first, because in other way I would lose, because going faster sometimes is not the best solution, and the more forward you get to the game, the more difficult it will be, and it's going to make different challenges. Like you are going to see on the rest of the video a track that you are forced to make the track with wheelie from the beginning to the end to earn Nitro in order to win, because there was no jumps, so you couldn't do any stunts. So the game is very interesting. It feels like Excite Bike. If you play it on the Super NES, you are going to remember. It's very close to it, and it's actually very well priced on Steam. It's very cheap, it costs around 18 euros. It's not really expensive, and the career mode is great. So if you want to have a nice time playing a game which mixes stunts, motorcycles and some Trials feeling, this game is entirely for you. So I will shut up for now and let you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, if you want to see the results that I got without recording, just check the description of the video or wait for the final of the video, to the end of it. Okay, so hope you enjoy it, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Wheelies can be your best friend, but the price of a mistake is high. The track may seem flat, but there's a lot of bumps and puddles. A wheelie will give you the nitro you need.
You're in the lead!
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video. So this is the results that I got without recording in all the settings in the Countryside Dirt track, which was the first track that you saw on the video. And so as you can see, my custom media preset gives us an average of 69, a minimum of 57 and a maximum of 79. Ultra and high settings gave us an average below the 60, which is not really appealing for this game, and the median high settings was both with average close to 100 since the game was capped to 100 FPS. But for me, custom median high preset it's really the way to go for this game. It balances the graphics and the performance that we want. Unfortunately, the game doesn't have any option to cut the frame rate at 60 or any VSync because it runs on borderless. Okay, so as you can see, median and low settings never drop from 60. My settings dropped 7% of the frames. I would love to have like 0%, but it wasn't really possible on that track. But there are more tracks on the game and most of them are less demanding. Okay, so with these settings the game used 1.2 gigabytes of VRAM, it used 3.3 gigabytes of RAM, so if you have 4 gigabytes of RAM in your system you will be fine. Even if you have 1 gigabyte card version of the HD 7850, the CPU was completely fine with this game and the GPU usage was completely maxed out. So this really points out how the game runs on our system. So with that, that's all I want to show you about MX Nitro. Hope you did enjoy the game and the video. If you want to buy the game or check its Steam page, it's on the description of the video, okay? And that's all. Hope you did enjoy it, and I too hope to see you soon. Goodbye.